of Okay, so first thing is Anaconda installation of Python and then Jupyter Notebook tutorial. So both of these videos are available in YouTube, session 1 and session 2. In case you did not find it, just type in YouTube Jupyter Notebook, or maybe I will give you a quick overview today so that it will be easy. So how to install your Python using Anaconda, right? A lot of you already know this, but quickly let me summarize. So go to your Google and just type Anaconda Python installation, right? Anaconda Python download. So if you come here, so Anaconda, what is Anaconda? It's a open source distribution of kind of Python, and it is a toolkit. Toolkit means not only Python, but you will also get IDEs installed along with Python, right? So you will get Spider and Jupyter Notebook, 2 IDE, Python, and then other packages. Like we have a lot of packages in Python that we will be using. Like we have NumPy, we have Pandas, we have sklearn, right? A lot of packages that is useful, especially for data science, whatever important packages you need. All the packages Anaconda will install. Anaconda will install Python. Anaconda will install Spider and Jupyter. So once you are done, not only Python, you are ready to start your program, to start writing your program. So how to download? Just come to Anaconda website and click on this download button. So once you click on this download, it will start downloading. It is 400 MB file. It will take some time. So once the download is complete, irrespective of your operating system, right? As versions for all operating system, you download it. And then you know how to install. It's a very simple software to install. Just click on next, 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 and then done. Right? Give me 1 minute, 1 minute. Sorry. So just go to this particular folder and then you just download it. Once you have downloaded, just next, how you install any other software, right? In Windows and in Mac, the same way, just click on next, 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 nothing to change. If you're using Office laptop and C drive is blocked or something, you can change the path while installing where exactly you want to keep Anaconda. Otherwise, it's a straightforward approach. So then finish. So once that is done, how to validate whether Anaconda is there or not? If you go to your main folder, you can see that in start, you will see Anaconda 3, a shortcut, right? Or the folder where you have installed Anaconda, let's say Mac. So it will be mostly home drive or wherever you installed. Go to that folder and you can see Anaconda 3. A new folder is present. So in that new folder, if you open, you can see Jupyter is there, Spider is there, right? Lot of content you will see, like Anaconda prompt. This green color circle, this is called Anaconda Navigator, right? So if you can see all of these things, means your Anaconda is successfully installed. Hence, Python is installed, Jupyter is installed, Spider is installed, everything is installed, and you are ready to start with your programming. And this green color circle, wait, I will give you chance. Once let me explain one topic, then I will ask you whether it is clear or not. That time you can unmute and speak. So when you will install this, right, this green color circle is called Anaconda Navigator, right? So this Anaconda Navigator is just like one time you can see. Most of the other time, no need to open it. Directly you can open your Jupyter either from start menu by just clicking here Jupyter space notebook, or if you're using Mac or Linux system, in the terminal, you can type Jupyter space notebook. So it will open. So I will not suggest going and opening this Jupyter through this Anaconda Navigator because it is very slow. Directly from start menu, Jupyter Notebook, or go to your command prompt or terminal and types Jupyter space notebook and it will open. But what is this Anaconda Navigator? It is actually a platform which will show everything. This is just to confirm whether everything installed properly. So from here also you can launch everything. See, I have this Jupyter, I have this Jupyter Lab. VS Code, it's you may not see this because I have VS Code, so it is showing. R also I have, so it is showing. But mostly Jupyter, Spider, and all of these things you can see. And from here, if you type this launch, it will open Jupyter. But as I'm saying, this is not a not correct way, but it's a lengthy way or tedious task, and it is slow. So better to open Jupyter from directly from your start menu, or just by typing Jupyter, Jupyter space notebook in your terminal. So when you click that, something will open like this. This is localhost. Jupyter is a very special kind of IDE. And if you can see the screen, your Anaconda is successfully installed. Now, many of you already are using Python, and it's not Anaconda. You have installed Python and using other IDE like PyCharm and all. Absolutely fine. You can continue to do that. You can use your PyCharm, VS Code, Atom, any IDE, you can do that. In that case, Jupyter Notebook, you have to install separately, right? And you can, I think, find a lot of videos from YouTube how to install Jupyter Notebook separately. And why I'm saying, because most of the coding that we are doing is in Jupyter. So if you have already a setup where you have Python, all other IDEs, right? That's okay. You can use any of the IDE, but also install Jupyter for usage. Right? But people who don't have Python in their system, install Python from Anaconda way. Now I will stop here. Any question in installation? Any doubt? Installation, any doubt?
No, madam, but some disturbance is coming while you are presenting.
From my side, I don't. Others, please confirm. Is there any noise coming background?
It is clear to me.
Yeah, I think it should be. I switched off my fan also. That's when I take class, it will be mostly, I mean, I cannot guarantee you though, but because we are working from home, right? You may get some noises, but most of the time I will not even switch on fan.
Are you using Radio Jack to connect your headphone?
So is there any noise coming through the head?
That's correct. Like that could be the interruption.
Okay.
I just feel that. So just plug it out and then plug in. See, might be it will
My
fix.
headphone is, so okay, now is it little better? Okay, so maybe I will use a headphone tomorrow onwards. It's my computer audio I'm using, but let me know if it is a lot of noise, then maybe I'll see what is the problem, right? Others also, can you confirm? Is it a lot of background noise you can hear?
No, ma'am, it's clear for me.
Yeah.
It's clear, ma'am.
Yeah. Sorry, no problem. So I think yes. So any question on Jupyter Notebook installation? Sorry, this is Anaconda installation Python. So it's a very simple process. I think it will take 2 minutes of your time and it will be done, right? Jupyter Notebook, anybody used it before?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So many of you may have used it because like a lot of like Python is very common right now, right? Like most of people from other domain, like from data engineering, data analyst, web developers, no matter if you are into software, maybe sometimes you have used Python. So I think these all IDs are very simple things or silly things, but these are kind of prerequisite before you join this class. Make sure all the IDs are installed, Python softwares are installed, your system is kind of ready. Then we can start with the main content. So Jupyter Notebook tutorial complete video will be uploaded in the drive. And also it is there in YouTube. If you check session 2, there are 7 videos available. Session 2 is Jupyter Notebook tutorial. Otherwise, once your enrollment is confirmed, the video of Jupyter tutorial will be uploaded. It's a 1-hour video. And what is there in that video? So quickly I can take you through Jupyter Notebook overview, but detail you will understand from that video. So Jupyter is a very special kind of IDE. For example, any project that we are doing, right? Let's say, let's take any example. Let's say this is one simple file that I'm opening, and this is the Python code I'm writing. You can see, and I can see the output just below. So it's a cell by cell execution, and it supports Markdown, right? And this is the uniqueness of Jupyter. So like your Spider or PyCharm or Atom, those things, they don't support Markdown. So in case you want to document anything, you have to use comments. But here in Jupyter, you can use Markdown, right? Like you can add images, you can add hyperlinks, you can add videos, you can increase and decrease the font size, you can bold, italic, you can play a lot of things with this. So you can see, you can give headings, you can do a lot of things with this, right? And most of the time, your data science projects are not very, very lengthy coding like data engineering side or your software development. It's not like thousands lines of code, very small projects, but very intense. Like each line of code will, mostly the importance of each project is visualization, lot of graphs, analyze, document, storytelling, like communicating the results plays a great role. So this is a simple example. You can give headings, you can write bullet points, you can write your Python code. Along with Python code, if some graphs or something, you can visualize the graphs here in a nice view. It's a bigger screen. So that's the reason most of the data scientists uses Jupyter. Having said, that's completely personal choice. When I have to demonstrate something to client, maybe I'll use Jupyter. Otherwise, I also use Atom or VS Code, right? So your personal choice, whatever you want to use, but Jupyter is good to know. Whether you're using or not using is a different thing, but it's a good to know skill, right? Okay, so you understood how this IDE is different and how to start using it. So quickly, two things I will tell you today. Rest all you will find it from the video. Once you see this home page, right? How to create a new Python notebook so that you can write your code. So go to this new. Go to this Python 3. Can you see this Python 3? Click on this Python 3. So this Python 3, this Python 3 is nothing but your Python notebook. So you can write your code here, whatever you want to write. Let's say I just want to print something. So I'm writing print hi. The caps lock is on. Okay, so you're just writing something, let's say print hi and then running. So this is the Python output. How I have run the code, this triangle symbol, you can see run, execute. Executing will be just clicking this run, will execute the code. So one line, multiple lines, entire code you want to write in one cell, or you want to section wise, you want to write. How you want to write, it's up to you. But once you have written the code, you can execute it using this run command, right? Now you want to save this. Let's say you have written a lot of Python code and you want to download it. Jupyter will allow you a lot of options to download. So you can download in HTML format. You can download in notebook format. You can download it in PDF format, right? And the beauty, I'll tell you, if your manager is a very senior level person and he doesn't has Python installed, and even though Python is there, let's say he doesn't have all of this softwares or basically packages installed, which is needed to run your code, right? Like with Python, he need a lot of softwares that you are using. So in that case, he just is interested to see the output once. You can share it in HTML format. See, this particular project I have downloaded in HTML format. And if I have to share this HTML format, my manager can look at this HTML format without any installing any software. And you can see in this HTML format, can you see the code? No, I have hidden all the code because maybe my manager will not be interested watching the code, but mostly he is looking with respect to the output. right? So there is a lot of options. So if I click here, it will show the code. Now you can see the code. If you don't want, if you don't want, just click here. Again, the codes are hidden. So you can just show the output like this, all the graphs, visualization. So instead of preparing PPTs, this is very easy way to take your client through the outputs, right? What exactly you have done. So entire thing, you can, all of these graphs, everything, it's a like kind of PPT only, right? So these options are available. So just understand how to use Jupyter. If you want to use or not, it's personal choice, but you should definitely know Jupyter Notebook as a data scientist. Okay. So how to download? Just come here, download as what format you want, you can download. Okay, so any question till here? Did you understand how to open and how to download? How to write code and how to download? Is these two things are clear? Open a file by going to new, go to home, go to new, right? And then you can select Python 3. So new Python file will be downloaded. Write your code, execute it, download it, going to file. Any questions? We are all good till here?
Yes, yeah,
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
Okay. So do this exercise today and let me know if you have any questions regarding the installation, maybe in tomorrow's class. And once your enrollment is confirmed in the drive, you will find complete Jupyter Notebook tutorial of 1 hour, right? Which will give you complete knowledge, advanced knowledge. After watching that 1 hour video, you yourself will be able to create headings, subheadings, bullet points, make it italic, change the font color, add hyperlinks, add videos, images, all of these things you can do with Jupyter. Okay. Okay. Coming to the Python content, as I said, we'll go slow and 30 minutes only will connect every day. Tomorrow onwards, please join 9:10, 9:15. 9 to 9:10, I will not be able to join. I have some other commitments. So 9:10, after 9:10 only I can join, right? So only for 3-4 days you adjust. After that, we'll move it to 7 a.m. morning because one more batch is completed. So we'll move there. 7 a.m. will continue, right? 7 to 8. So before we start, why you people think Python is so popular? What all are the some reasons? Why Python is so popular?
It's easy to learn and understand.
Yes. So basically, yes.
Huge libraries.
Correct. So easy to learn because a lot of support or lot of library support we have, right? So we have a lot of library support and hence it is easy to learn and use. Any other reason?
Interface with any other technologies.
Integration, I will rather say it as integration is easy. Why? Because when you are working as a data scientist, you are not alone, right? You will be working in a team structure. Right? So think about it like this. So you're creating a product. A product is not only about algorithms, right? Like there will be a front end, back end, people should support it. If it is huge data, it should migrate to cloud. Cloud should support. And then if it is super huge, then maybe all of this deep learning, GPU and all you need. So all of this architecture, let's say you are writing your code in R, right? Very wonderful algorithms. R is also easy. R also has library support. But that integration part is difficult. And it's a very good point. I think this is the only reason why R is kind of not so popular over time. So if you go back 2016-17, R was very popular that time, even more popular than Python for data science. But when data science matured, when people started building product on AI, they realized that R is not supporting the web framework, or R is just a scripting language. And let's say you as a data scientist created some algorithm or implemented some models. But ultimately, if you want to add that module into your product, your entire web developer team is using React and then let's say Python and other languages, Java, Scala or something. So how to integrate, right? So that's the problem. So Python has web support. So you write your code and there will be a front-end team who are expert in Flask, Django and other things. Easily they can integrate. You want cloud migration, yes, AWS, GCP or Azure, wherever you want, you can take it. Very much it is easy. PySpark is there in Spark, so easily you can write big data code. So it's very seamlessly you can work together, right? So the DevOps teams, the data engineering team, the data science team, the data analyst team, all people will have the same platform, right? So that's the very, very, very big point, right? And that's why I think Python is very, very famous. And why not Java and Scala? Yes, Java and Scala are even more powerful language than Python, but when it comes to data science, it has less library support as compared to Python. So Python is so mature that for everything you will get a package or function. But in Java and Scala, though it is very powerful, but it is difficult for a data scientist. For a web developer, it is good. Even very scalable and very good architecture, web development you can do. But coming to your data science part, maybe it's a difficult thing for a data scientist. Why? Because machine learning, deep learning requires a lot of math support, math library support. We have a lot of support in Python. Java and Scala, though they have libraries, but it's not so mature. Like I'll give you one simple example. In Python, if you have 60 algorithms, maybe in Java, Scala libraries, you may have 30 algorithms, right? Not many algorithms or not so mature like Python, right? And it is easy. That's the reason Python is very popular. I think everybody knows about it. So what you should learn from Python as a data scientist, right? Python itself is vast. So as I said in the core, in the demo classes, I will not say anything not to learn. In AI, everything if you learn, that is good only. There is nothing called you should not learn. But what you should learn first. The first thing that you should learn from Python is Python for data science. Right? And I'll tell you one example. When you go to this medical cost, whole code, if I show you, see what I'm importing, NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, sklearn, right? Entire project, I am using some 6-7 packages, right? So without using any kind of oops concept, decorators, generators, and other things, I can nicely write and complete my project. So most of the time you don't need those modules. So first you learn data science, Python for data science modules, which are nothing but packages in detail, which is mandatory things to complete. After you do that, try to enhance your coding skill. Somebody has written a function just like that, and somebody has written a function and then in a modular way he has written. Obviously, the code will look nice, clean. So cleaning code will come later. First you write the code and then you will clean it. So oops concept is definitely needed, but that's the second thing that you will learn. Maybe once you are very expert in Python for data science module, next thing you can learn the oops concept. Any Python package, how to install?
Using pip command.
Correct.
Pip install.
Yes, so it is open source, but there is a central body who is controlling, that is Python package index. So this common syntax is pip install, and where you will install directly in Jupyter. Here you can type. So for example, I am just trying to install NumPy. Already NumPy will be installed by by Anaconda. It's already there. I'm just trying to show you one demo, right? So this is already satisfied because already present. Any package that you're installing, where it is going, where you can see all your packages that you are installing. Inside site packages. Right? So you have this Anaconda folder. So today if you open after installing, you will find a particular folder called library. Inside library, there are site packages. If you open that site packages, you will see all of these packages that you have installed are present there. Why I'm saying this location is important? Maybe in some time in future, you're getting some error and you need to uninstall some package or do some configurational changes, where you will find that package you should know. Site packages is the folder where you can see all the packages installed. How to install? Pip install the package name in the command prompt and hit enter. Or here, so command prompt in the sense Anaconda prompt. So here you can see Anaconda prompt. If you click here, and then also here also you can type pip install the package name. Mac, Linux, or your Windows, same approach. Go to your Anaconda prompt and type the package, whatever you want to install. Pip install the name of the package. And if you're confused what should be the name and all, go to PyPy and then see it. PyPy is the Python index, right? So go to PyPy, search for that package that you want to install. For example, I want to install Beautiful Soup, right? So mostly what I will write, pip install Beautiful Soup, right? But sometimes the packages are little different than what we write. So Beautiful Soup is there and Beautiful Soup. Another, if you go here, let's say, if you come here, Beautiful Soup 4 is there. So what you want to install? Better to go to PyPy and then you copy it and paste it, right? Until unless you're very sure. If it is a very common package, you already know it, like NumPy, Pandas, yes, directly. If anything new, always go to this PyPy search and then copy it and paste it. So this command you can use to install, pip install, where you will type in Anaconda prompt, you will type, right? Or in Jupyter also it will work. I found Anaconda prompt is little faster, so better to go to Anaconda prompt and type. But here also you can type Jupyter Notebook. Once you have installed it, you have to import it, import package to use it. So if I have imported, then you can see NumPy. So you can use a lot of like dir method will list down all the things present inside NumPy. So all of these functions are present within NumPy. So dir directory. So this will give you entire library, whatever packages are there. Whatever functions are there inside that package. Everything will be listed down. 3 things we understood: installation, Jupyter Notebook, how to install Python package, where to write this command. Once we have installed, how to import and how to list down, calling this dir method. Any questions so far?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So we're all good. So I will pause here because this is very fresh batch. I don't want to rush. So today you complete these things, 2 things: install Python and study about Jupyter Notebook. Let us connect tomorrow. We will be starting with other core Python concepts. Okay. Okay. Any questions that you want to ask, or we are all good?
No, Mr. Susmita, we're good.
Okay. Okay, thank you everyone, and we'll connect tomorrow again. And please connect 9:10 tomorrow onwards, right? We'll sharply start around 9:10, 9:15. Okay, thank you everyone.
Okay, madam. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.